Hi, it's Joe at Red's Fly Shop. I've got an exciting review for you today. I have the new Sage R8 Classic, which I'm very excited about. I have had a couple of casting sessions with this, and it's quite a rod. So today's review, I'm going to show you kind of the ins and outs of the rod, why I really like it and think it is a special creature. But I'm also going to compare it as a baseline against the multi-purpose R8, which I've been fishing very hard for a couple of years here. Both are 9-foot 5 weights, but very different rods for different situations and different lines. And I'm just going to give this an overview, and perhaps there is room in your dry fly quiver or you're looking for a light tackle specific rod. The R8 Classic is going to be a great candidate. Let's take a closer look and do some casting. First, we'll talk about the aesthetics. A rod at this price point should be beautiful, and Sage brought back their classic Sage Brownie color scheme, which is reminiscent of the original Lightline series, a throwback 25 plus years ago. I had a 8-foot 9-inch 3-weight Sage LL, and is one of the rods that I've always regretted selling when the newest, latest, and greatest came out. But they did a great job with that historical color. Craftsmanship is excellent. Beautiful walnut reel seat and a really slimmed down up-locking reel seat. A little sleeker and more compact than the multi-purpose Core Series R8. But they did a great job of bringing it all together. It really is a nice piece of art. It is, of course, made in the USA by Sage Fly Rods in Bainbridge, on Bainbridge Island in Washington, just a few hours from Red's Fly Shop here. But the wraps are classically designed, really sleek, a rod you should be proud of. And then another thing just to consider about Sage is their warranty process might be a little bit slower, as they don't instantly replace a rod tip or something like that. But you can rest assured, in 10 or 15 or 20 years, when your rod needs a new tip built, custom built specifically for your rod as a matter of warranty, Sage will be there to do that. I've got many vintage Sage rods that I can rest easy knowing that if I were to break it, it is going to get repaired. So that is an upside if you're looking at keeping this rod and want this exact rod repaired for a long time. All right, first and foremost, this rod is not designed for chunking double nymph rigs and strike indicators. This is your dry fly rod, your hopper dropper rod, maybe some small streamers. But I'll be using this very rod. This rod will be in my guide boat this year. It'll be with me when I'm dry fly fishing, and I'm extremely fond of it, so I'm trying not to be too biased. But if you're looking for a light line rod, light tackle rod right now, you should definitely consider the R8 Classic without a doubt. It loads up nice and slow, so I can kind of go at my own pace. I can take my time. I can wait on the back cast. And that rod is going to shift gears and start up really slow, and then it's going to grab like second and third gear if I need it. And if I really want to lean into it, I just don't see anybody really being handicapped on distance by this rod. I mean, I could probably dump the whole line out of it if I really want to do, but it's not what it's for. I would also give you this advice when you're using these lighter tackle rods, or you're looking for a light tackle rod. You had better enjoy the false cast and be able to false cast really slow if you want, so we can set down that really nice soft presentation. Maybe I want to shake a little slack into it as my fly is falling so I can get a good drift. And I'd better enjoy false casting it, because this is when I need to very carefully measure distance, and maybe with my left hand I'm going to creep in a couple feet of line. And so I need this real relaxed cadence for my false casting. I think these more moderate action rods false cast a lot more generously, meaning you're not going to tangle up, you're not going to have to hurry, you're not going to be forced to hurry, and I can really feel what the rod is doing and then adjust my casting cadence to a little slack. If I was to get a little slack in my line, I can change gears a little bit. So false casting is very important. That's how I measure distance, and that's how I'm going to dry my fly. I see myself throwing elk hair caddis, little grasshoppers, little parachutes, and this being more of my hatch rod where I'm picking out individual fish. But it loads up nice and slow, but it jumps pretty good. I'm gonna go ahead and turn around, and I'm gonna throw a couple more, just a little bit more for distance. Now this is the 9-foot 5 weight, so this is gonna be kind of your all-around utility rod. And I'm gonna load it up nice and slow. Very tight loop. I have no issue with the loop on it right there. Like I said, very, very comfortable. Just based on its power, there's ice on the river today. I would love to go fishing, and I will go fish this rod, and I'm gonna fish it right next to the traditional or the multi-purpose Core Series R8. And I'll have a better comparison and contrast this spring when I go out and actually fish both rods side by side this spring. But I would have no problem throwing a smaller streamer, a hopper dropper, or a stonefly. Once I get into windy conditions and I'm throwing salmon fly patterns and really big dries, I would probably want the 6-weight R8, which I think would, or R8 Classic, which I think would be a fabulous hopper rod. The 6-weight, the mast, the 6-weight line would buck the wind really well and deliver the fly accurately, but I could still do all that gear shifting and speed up and slow down as I need to get the right shot into whatever opportunity presents itself. They make this rod from a 3 to a 6-weight with the little guys, the little 3-weights being your ultralight presentations, your creek fishing rods, maybe a specialty rod for that very specific hatch that you're after, but be thinking little dry flies with that. And again, I wouldn't hesitate to throw a reasonable sized bugger on this rod or good sized stoneflies. What I wouldn't do is throw a big double nymph rig on it. That is not the rod that I would use for that. I would go with, if you're a Sage fan, I would go with the Core Series, the R8 that already exists. The multi-purpose Core R8 would be the rod I would want for that. As far as line selection goes, there are a couple of different directions you can go on lines here that we recommend, that we've tested. The one I'm throwing here is the Rio Technical Trout. That is, just like the name implies, it's a very technical line, better for picking off fish at a little bit more distance with dry fly specific setups, very delicate presentation, and better for reaching out. It also suits my casting style well. I'm a little bit more visually oriented. I can watch my loops and then apply feedback or use that feedback, visual feedback, to adjust my cast. Most casters, the guys and gals in the shop that also tested the rod this week, they preferred the standard Rio Elite Gold on this rod. They felt like that line was better, especially for the more moderate distance. So technical trout or gold is going to do well. I would stay away from the Gold XP and do not put a Rio Gold Max on this rod. It would rob it of its soul. So that's for my review on the R8 Classic. It comes with a super nice rod tube per Sage's standard decor when it comes to carrying and storing these rods for long term. Very nice rod sock included. And of course, at Reds, when you shop with us, you get a free fly line of your choice. There's product links in the video here. I hope you enjoyed the review. Please follow the channel and check back, because I will go fish this rod side by side when the dry flies start popping this spring.